There we go. I had the preview up in the background.
What's up, people?
What's going on? Oh, he did the new fade too.
Yeah.
Do it
Got
again.
All kinds of new fades.
Do it one more time.
Yeah. Oh, there's. We can swipe.
Whoa.
We swipe down.
Whoa.
And we.
Oh, you know what? You got it. You got something going on in the background.
Do I?
Yeah.
There
it is.
There we go.
Yeah, just pause that.
Right.
There we put the music. Yes.
What's up, fuckers?
What's going on? Hello, everybody. September 12th. It's 8 p.m. It's Tuesday. As if there's anything better to do on the internet on an 8 p.m. on Tuesday. At 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. So what's going on, buddy?
Chilling. Went to a show this weekend. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll get into our weekends. Your weekend sounded a hell of a lot more fun, much more funner than mine did. In all honesty, a lot more funner.
lot more funner.
More funner than mine
More
sounded.
fun.
So that's Vern. Say hi, Vern. And as you can see, new camera.
We're actually clear.
And in 1080.
Yes, we're actually streaming in 1080p.
Which is...
As opposed to 1080p.
Yeah. At least what we tell YouTube, but it doesn't.
Which wasn't even... which was actually 720p. Because that old camera... I mean, I thought it was a little less than 720p until I checked out 720p on this one. And then I realized, whoa...
That
was more like...
I have been deprived of 1080 my whole life.
Yeah, well, we were getting deprived of actual 720 because that was kind of...
It was like 693. I mean,
it was like 620p.
Yeah, it was just like you ain't. All right, we'll just give you the HD tag, even though it ain't fucking HD. I mean,
that wasn't actually. Wasn't actually 720p apparently.
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, I noticed that you everyone out there watching right now, you'll definitely notice a difference.
Trying to figure out what to do with my drink.
Drank? You find it?
No.
Did you leave it downstairs? Or is that it?
No, that's an empty.
You got a lot of dead soldiers around here,
Damn
buddy.
it, what in the hell? Oh well, that sucks.
You're gonna just have to hold out.
I guess so.
So,
just hope I don't get too thirsty.
Well, considering I do all the talking. What?
Wow.
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But no, here's something I could kick over to you. So, Vern did give me a request. He was like, chill on the politics this week.
Yeah, I figured we've been going politics heavy for a little while, so we're going to go a little lighter.
Well, there is one thing, but it's more of like personal. Like, obviously, yesterday was a big anniversary of some shit. 9/11.
Yeah.
It's also an anniversary, too, on the same day in 1973 that this coup in Chile happened, where they booted out the Democratic Socialist, who was elected by the people. The CIA backed the dude Pinochet, and they fucking got him. He ended up killing himself, actually. So, like, September 11th in Chile has been a pretty fucked up day, too, for a long time.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, because everyone does this. I mean, first off, it's 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe that shit? So where were you on that day? Like, what were you doing?
I was sleeping, and then my mom woke me up and told me a plane just hit the World Trade Center, and so I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And so I got up and I went down and started watching. And I fucking basically sat there all morning watching the news, and I saw
the collapses and all that stuff.
I saw the second plane hit, and then I saw the fucking collapses, and it was just crazy. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's just it is.
I thought it was like a Project Mayhem shit. I thought they were trying to knock the towers over, fucking take out fucking like Wall Street and shit.
Oh, you mean like having like go for a topple effect?
Yeah,
or
because
something
I didn't
like that.
think they'd fucking fall straight down, and I still don't understand how they took the path of most resistance.
Well,
That's one
yeah,
thing
I
that's
mean,
always bugged me, because those buildings were fucking way stronger than they ever needed to be, and then somehow they collapse perfectly into their own footprint. That's why I still.
well, not
That's why that's the one conspiracy theory I still wonder
you.
about.
You give a little wink to,
Yeah,
a
because
little
I
bit.
mean,
Well, remember this too. Like I mean, it wasn't cleanly into the footprint, dude. Like the
it was
six.
pretty damn clean
but
for
the
buildings that were 1,300 feet tall.
Yeah, but 6 blocks around them had a bunch of shit thrown into them. You know what I mean? Like there was
Well,
a
yeah.
lot of debris. Just like it wasn't clean. Like there was a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of stuff ejected off to the sides, but that's because of how the building was designed. I mean, it was you had the internal core columns, which were fucking massive, and then there was the perimeter columns, and everything was strung in between the perimeter columns and the core columns. So, yeah, doesn't surprise me
The
that
thing
stuff was
is-
ejected out to the sides.
Well, and it's also like, do you think we will ever know? Do you know what I mean? Like let's say it is beyond something of just like, wow, that day was an asterisk. You know what I mean? Of like with a lot of shit, because that day was an asterisk with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like we learned that whole, you know, air defense system that we have, the NORAD system, like no matter what.
Well, nobody ever expected a fucking commercial airliner to be used in such a manner. Well, that's not exactly true.
True. Well, because there was that PDB that came out.
Well, there
month
was
before.
there was also the Pentagon mass casualty exercise, like a year before, where the Pentagon got hit by a plane,
And they just
and yeah, it was like a commercial airplane hits the Pentagon. That was the whole mass casualty thing, and they basically did a dry run of what they would do if. See, that's one of the things that always makes me question is like, it's like, why were they fucking a year before they were planning a mass casualty exercise involving a plane hitting the Pentagon?
But the thing is but realize this, their idea of that with that casualty exercise, I mean, it's what first responders do, like, you know, the fire school that's around the corner from here. You know what I mean? Like they simulate gas fires and grease fires and all that different type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so I can understand where some folks, because here's the thing, if they said like, oh, okay, if it was done for terrorism, or if it was just like a guy being an idiot and not flying the plane right, crashing into a building, you know what I mean? Like, because the thing is like folks won't sit there and when the firemen go and do like a grease fire, and then all of a sudden, like the next day, there's a grease fire at a restaurant. It's not conspiracy, you know what I mean? Like, they just happen to be practicing for that shit. It came up on the schedule, and bada boom, you know what I mean? Like. But it's like, would we ever know like what would happen? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't think the government would ever actually tell us. I mean,
well, and the other thing is how much of the government would actually, if there is this deep conspiracy to it, how much and how many of the sectors of the government would act? Because remember, the more you start adding motherfuckers onto a conspiracy, we joked about this before. You know what I mean? Like, you mean to tell me a janitor over there at Area 51? It's going, hey, yo, girl, you want to come see some aliens? You know what I mean? Like, you want to come ride in my spaceship? You know what I mean? Like someone's going to blab. Someone's going to talk some shit.
Yeah.
Because first off, if you have the smoking gun files, you know what I mean? I got my sources, you know, like Alex Jones or whatever. Or say there's a dude and he legitimately has shit. He's credentialed, this, that, and the third. You mean to tell me that allure of that opportunity to be the most famous person in history wouldn't corrupt the motherfucker to like break rank and go spit some shit, dude? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's always the possibility that you get bumped off if you do.
Well, yeah, but they would have to. It would have to be reactionary to it. You know what I mean? Like you would already been. If say you were the dude, you would have already, and you're just following orders, and you're just marching in line, and you're doing your thing, and so forth and so on. And all of a sudden, one day, you're like, I'm gonna go down to Texas and talk to Alex and bring some shit with you. If they don't fucking know anything until you open your mouth that you're doing this, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna probably get bumped off. Yeah, they're like, fuck this dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But then again, they may not, because then it'd be like, oh well, if we do kill him, if there is this crazy fucking cloak and dagger shit, like if we do kill him, well then it's just gonna make him a martyr, and you know what I mean? Like it's It's psychology, I guess.
There's always making it look like an accident, though.
Well, yeah, he had bad brakes. Tough brakes, kid.
Sneak into the dude's house in the middle of the night and syringe full of air. Boom. Heart attack.
No, yeah. I guess, but I mean, for me, you were sleeping. I was on my way to college because I was at 13th grade at a community college.
13th grade.
Right. And, no lie, I'm running late and I pull up to, I'm listening to KYW because I need it for the traffic, weather and transit on the twos. And nothing's happening. I pull up, park the truck, get out, and literally the time it took me to walk from my truck to the building is when the shit must have went down. Because as soon as I got in there, the TVs are on and like, yeah, dude, some plane or bomb just went off and it hit the World Trade Center, and like people were just started huddling around the TV. The teacher, it was a introduction to communications, like a mass comm 101 class or something like that. She canceled. She was like in tears, and she just straight canceled class right then and there. She's like, I'm not dealing with this today. You guys, everyone go home. You know what I mean? And then eventually they just told all of us by like 10 o'clock, like everyone go home. You know what I mean? Like, because they weren't sure like this is going to be a target or that's going to be a target. But it's still like wild, like in a sense. I think it's 16 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's been kids born. There were kids born the day after. Like, today is their birthday.
Yeah.
And they have no idea. Like, they have no clue. Aside from, like, seeing it in history. Or being talked about in class or something like that.
Yeah.
But they have no idea, like, what went down and what was it all like. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It was, it's just something that, that doesn't affect them the same way it does people who actually fucking saw that shit happening as it was happening.
Well, and it's also like, I mean, on a bigger sense, just philosophically speaking, like, if you think about it too, man, like ever since that day and that year, like shit has just been downhill ever since. Now, maybe it's because we're adults and we've been in the working world and we're just more cynical, or I guess now, or life has definitely come by and punched us in the balls a few times.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. It just seems like everything, at least, either went downhill or at least all the shit that was bubbling under the surface finally came up. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what happens. People started talking about, oh, well, this is what happens when we fuck around in foreign countries. They fly planes in your fucking building. Like, they shoot up your nightclub. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a lot of that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just been, but I mean, just like on that tip, like, and to get off this, yeah. Yeah. But it was only because my roommate Eric, his daughter's 5. She's just started kindergarten.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of cool. Like, I'm really happy for the dude, because it's like, I'm not giving away and telling tales outside of school, but like, he's been through some shit, dude. Like this motherfucker's life is a fucking movie. Like with some of the shit that he's had to overcome and tragedies that have happened, like losing people and shit like that. Like, and then, he there was even like some worry about like, was she actually going to be going to school at this school in Philly and stuff like that. It was just cool to see for him, man. Cause like, he was able to, cause he's a bit of a night owl like me, and he actually got up on time, and he's been getting up on time, and seeing her off to, he walks her to school and all that shit. Like, but it's kind of, like I said, tying it together. Like, there's a generation of kids that will not know that shit firsthand. They'll only see it on YouTube, and hopefully they see the original footage and not some garbage fucking truther shit. You know what I mean? Like, some guy goes to YouTube University and now all of a sudden he's a structural engineer. Like that. That's definitely. Well, to spin on for you personally, was that the event that kind of got you like into the Jones crowd? Was that like your gateway drug, or?
Well, that's what. Yeah. Well, that and a certain friend of ours whose name starts with a D.
Right.
Yeah, that's what got me into that crowd. But oddly, I've gotten mostly out of that crowd, but I still have too many questions about 9/11 to stop with that conspiracy theory, because there's just some shit that's just like it doesn't make sense.
Would you say it's more? Would you say you kind of got it refined now to where it's like a skepticism, where you just like, I'm going to look at all the angles? Because like with a lot of the types in that game,
there's something that happened. There's some shit that went down that we weren't told about, because there's just too many things that don't make any fucking sense for just being plane strikes. Because the buildings collapsed, the way the buildings collapsed, the speed at which they collapsed, the fact that building number 7 collapsed when it was like a fucking across, it was across the way. Like it didn't get like severely damaged by debris that fell from the Twin Towers. And the fucking crazy thing is the BBC reported it collapsed 20 minutes before it collapsed.
Before it actually did.
You could see it in the background of the BBC's broadcast. World Trade Center 7, the Solomon Brothers building. And there's video of people saying, hey, move back. They're going to pull the building. And it's like, how are they going to fucking demolish a building? Like, it takes fucking weeks to set that shit up. Like, how are they going to, because that's what pull is. When they say they're going to pull a building, that means they're going to drop it. They're going to control demolition it. But this shit takes weeks. Now,
could there have
one
been,
possibility is
they put this shit in there when they constructed it for any type of like catastrophic event, and then they'll get everybody out and be like, all right, now we're going to pull this building because we can't have chunks of it falling off into parts of fucking Manhattan.
That's what I've wondered about the World Trade Center is, like, did they secretly pre-lace the building because they were so tall and they were already controversial when they were built? Because people were like, hey, there's these tall fucking buildings being built in a new manner that we've never built skyscrapers before.
Right.
Like, it was like, what if these buildings aren't strong enough? What if they fucking collapse? You know?
What if they're complete utter failures?
Yeah.
In real estate purposes, again comes the money. You know what I mean? So if they're like complete failures in that sense of the real estate, then they're just like, fuck it. I just destroy them, pull them, as you'd say, and then fucking clean it up and sell the land.
But there was like if you were on the top floor, if you were on the roof of the World Trade Center when it was collapsing, if you had dropped a tennis ball, let go of a tennis ball right then, it would have kept falling. It would have never hit the fucking floor underneath you until the whole building rode the way down. Like, it collapsed at the speed of gravity, and that doesn't make any sense, considering on the one building there were like 80 some floors that weren't damaged. And then on the other one, there were like 50 or 60 some floors that weren't damaged.
Yeah, but you also got all
below the points of impact.
Right, but you also have all that stuff above the point of impact that's coming down, and it should exponentially add.
Physics says path of least resistance. When I was watching initially, I was expecting them the tops to hit and slide off the side, because that's what made sense. It was like, all right, path of least resistance. Those things and then that big chunk of building is going to fall on those buildings next to it.
And just be
I remember being confused why that didn't happen. The day I was like, what? Because, I wasn't as into science as I am now, but everybody took physics in school. Like, you went to science class.
I had environmental science. I have physics.
Well, they taught us stuff about physics. I don't know. You didn't go to Upper Marion, did you? So
no.
They probably had slightly different curriculum.
Yeah, it was Catholic school, so they kind of weren't fans of science.
Science.
God did all this.
Yeah. But
that was basically what it was.
I remember the stuff from Newtonian physics, talking about that in school, and I just found the whole thing fucking kind of weird. I thought I didn't think anything super nefarious about it until I started getting into the whole 9/11 conspiracy stuff. But even though I've tried to rid myself of all that conspiracy stuff, still too many unanswered questions for me to completely
but here's
push it away.
Where I was kind of hinting with that a little bit was in the sense of like you're not the true believer types where like it's almost come to a point with like some of the conspiracy stuff where it's fundamentalism. Like you've got to be 100% a true believer. Like you can't even draw questions about some of the questions that they're saying. You know what I mean? And having and not to call out anyone and be like, you're a fucking idiot, explain this. But just to have that dialogue. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm kind of along. Have you ever heard of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth?
You've mentioned this before, yeah.
They're basically a bunch of engineers, and they're like, look, we don't know what the fuck actually happened, but we know shit couldn't have happened the way the government says it happened.
Or at least what the report was saying, yeah.
Because those buildings collapsed too fast. The way they collapsed doesn't make sense. Like some of these people are like structural engineers, and they know, okay, well that shit should have just went off to the side. And so I'm in that camp. I'm not in the Alex Jones, the government blew up the buildings, blah blah blah.
Thermite paint.
Like somebody did something. It doesn't necessarily have to be our own government. Like there are other governments out there who have a history of false flagging shit.
Right.
And I'm not going to mention them by name because there's too many people that would fucking chew my head off.
Russia?
No. But
who?
Let's just say it's an ally of ours who've attacked us before.
The United Kingdom?
They attacked one of our ships.
United Kingdom?
No.
France?
No.
Germany?
No.
Japan?
No.
The South Koreans?
No.
An ally that is
they
attacked?
have an intelligence department whose motto is
Israel.
Unintentional or unofficial motto of by deception thou shalt do war.
Oh, Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mossad, I guess it was called or whatever.
I wouldn't put it past me. I wouldn't put it past them to have, found out about the plot. Found out because they're in the Middle East. I'm sure they have operatives in Al Qaeda and all those.
It's probably how we found the motherfucker the first few times.
So, because the buildings were fucking owned by a Jewish guy. So the Mossad. I'm not saying the Mossad did it, but the Mossad could have found out about the plot well ahead of time, and then went to what the hell is that guy's name? The guy who had taken a 99-year lease of the World Trade Center and then said, look, we want to get the Americans to attack Al Qaeda because we think they're trouble. So we know they're going to attack your buildings. We know they're going to attack your buildings. So let us maximize the effect of their attack to ensure that the United States government goes and attacks.
We would have gone in if that didn't happen. Like, say they were even able.
We would have gone in, but we wouldn't have gone in with such gusto.
No, I think we would have gone in with gusto. I think it would have been the same because because no matter what, regardless of 9/11 happened with Bush's.
We would have sent people, but I don't think we would have done a full occupation.
No, if
the buildings hadn't collapsed like that, I don't think we would have done a full.
No,
occupation.
I think we were going to, because it was all because, dude, we know it's the tried and true old story: knock over a dictator, install your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is that even if let's say they were able to put these fires out. And that it was like a much lower death toll. It wasn't 3,000 people, and there wasn't the images of the fuckers jumping out and all that of the buildings, which is just creepy as fuck. So say it was just like the passengers on those planes and and some of the people in those floors, and of course maybe some people from shit falling out. So let's say it's under 500 people. I still think we would have gone hard as fuck because they would have just been like, we got to go. It's time to go. See what happened? That's why we got to go over there. We got to fight them there, so we don't have to fight them here. You know what I mean? Like because no matter what, because Afghanistan, the heroin trade. Okay, you have the poppy, and two, all the $2 trillion worth of minerals that they have in their soil. You know what I mean? Like and then Iraq with the oil. I mean, like, because it's also the whole, like, Saudi Arabia is Sunni, and then places like, well, Iraq is Sunni too. They were mostly Sunni with the Baathists running everything, which is why kind of amazing why Saudi Arabia would be behind that shit. But you know how they fighting Shia and Sunni, and this nation's Shia, that nation's Sunni, so they're going to war and all that crap. And I still think we were going to go in regardless. I think they would have just tried to trump something up to get us in there, even if they didn't have this plot or if they didn't have this event. If it was something totally out of their hands and it happened the way it happened and it is what it is, like they were trying to go in anyway. I really do think they were trying to find some shit, because I mean, you can't sit there and well, I don't want to say you. I don't want to say it like that. Like it's kind of hard to not think that neoconservatives, now that they got power again after Clinton, that they weren't going to do some warring. You know what I mean? Like, and they weren't going to go around and start knocking over freaking countries and regime change this and that so they could get a better oil deal. You know what I mean? Like, that's because, like, what stopped us from doing it before? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mentioned Chile. You know what I mean? What stopped us from going in there and sending the CIA in to, quote, make their economy scream, as Nixon said, unless it had something to do with money. And it was because Allende, the president, was going to nationalize all these industries and say, nah, we the people and the government of Chile now own this company. And the same company that made the bombers for the Germans in World War II, ITT, telephone company, they were like, no, we ain't having that. Hey, yo, Dick, can you help us out here? You send your boys down there, black box, little black ops, little CIA action for me? Thanks, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to come down to that, the NGOs and their money. You know what I mean? Like, if they roll... See, that's the thing. It's like you're seeing it across Africa now too. Like they're starting to do all kinds of little shadow war shit to knock over certain governments because, the companies are rolling there like, hey, you got these diamond mines? Yo, that's sweet. That's cool. We gonna set up shop. And then no, the president of that country be like, go fuck yourself. That's not happening. Oh, really? Regime change. Here you go. You catch yourself a nice case of regime change. You know what I'm saying? Like. Yeah, but what I want to get to is I want to actually speak more about like psychology a little bit with this stuff, not the actual events, but because you were a guy in that world a little bit, you know what I mean? Like you had an ankle. You're like, well, how far deep would you say? Like if you were to use body parts, ankle deep, knee deep, waist deep, chest deep.
Well, let's see. I was a 9/11 truther. I was a 7/7 truther.
You were a source, bro.
Yeah, I was a source.
You were the guy.
Yeah, I was the guy. I bought into the whole Illuminati thing, which I don't. There may be a group out there of rich people who are trying to influence events, but I don't think they have anywhere near as much influence as people like Alex Jones make them out.
Right.
Like, yeah, they might meet at Bohemian Grove out in California because, I mean, that shit does happen.
Right.
They might have their Bilderberg meetings, and they might have their CFR meetings and their Trilateral Commission meetings, but that doesn't mean that they're as powerful as Alex Jones makes them out to be.
Right, because no matter what, in order for any change to happen, it has to be a larger effort. Like, a small group of oligarchs who aren't even going to be willing to get their hands dirty swinging a wrench, like they have to get other people involved. Like, that's where the whole big lie stuff and the great lie and maybe that shit happens, but I'm kind of intending like they may get together and like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could do this? And then as life progresses, it's like, oh well, that's not fucking happening. Like,
well, here's the thing: they can make all the plans they want. Like the whole Alex Jones thing is they plan out the next year. Well, guess what? Shit happens all the time that fucking they can't fucking predict.
Right. And also, given what and I said this,
like they can make all the plans they want, but fucking one thing can go down, and that fucks up their entire fucking thing.
Exactly.
And
And they're going to leave.
Like they have emergency fucking, we need to have an emergency Bilderberg meeting. No, it's fucking
once a year and that's it.
It's like, well, the shit we were trying, let's see what we can fucking, let's see what we can still try and manipulate. Even though this fucking big thing happened and it changed the whole fucking, I just think people like Alex Jones like to fucking puff things up and make them scary so that they can fucking
sell dietary
DVDs
supplements
and their dietary supplements.
And so the thing is, it's like where I was getting at with here's where the psychology of it. And when I said and I was actually talking to someone about this at happy hour yesterday, which by the way, Dawson Street happy hour is the fucking greatest, dude. It is the great dude. You roll in there with $10, you get a meal and like 2 beers, plus the tip for $10. Like
that's not bad,
dude. And it's 7 days a week. I was joking around. I was like, dude, this is like a fucking street punk food kitchen. You know what I mean? Like this is a street kid fucking food kitchen right now. Because like, dude, you get $1 hot dogs and $2.50 veggie quesadilla. Okay, that's that's a meal, bro. Like that's a straight fucking meal, and then get drunk for under $10. It's insane. But what I was saying to a guy yesterday was like, okay, let's take religion, because I think it's a fair comparison, because like a lot of the conspiracy stuff, like it is like a religion. It's very like fundamentalist in the thinking. Like you can't express doubt about the theory itself without you getting derided by the people in that circle. You know what I mean? Like it's like you can't offer another perspective. Like I hear what you're saying, but why don't we look at it this way? That's not what it is. I have my sources. See this guy, he's my source. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Luckily, I've never gotten into an argument with somebody about 7/7. You'd be like, dude, I'm the one who fucking originated that shit, and I'm telling you it's fucking wrong.
It's like, dude, I can tell you exactly where I was sitting in my house when I wrote this shit up. You know what I mean? Like, was it down the blue room?
I think so.
Yeah, it was down in that room in the old studio. So, but the crazy thing was, but the point I was saying to the guy was, it's like, okay, you take religion. Like, okay, I was raised Roman Catholic. I really don't consider that myself anymore. But there was like a time where like, okay, we were at church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? When I was a little kid and all that stuff. And then as we got older, especially with my parents, and then it became more of like, I'm only going for the major holidays. There isn't like, you can't be in that conspiracy life, if you will, and only go to the major holidays. Like they want you there every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why.
Wait, what? You believe in you have questions about 9/11 and you don't believe in chemtrails? What?
Right. And that is the other thing too. Like if you believe in the one, like you're
expected by them to believe. And if you don't believe in all of them, then you must be a government shill.
Yeah, you're a shill.
You just pretended to have questions about 9/11 to get us to trust you a little bit.
But the thing is like was to ask you like on the psychology of it, if you will. Did you associate like a high when you were doing the research? Was there like a thrill? Was there a rush? Was there?
No, because I got into it because I was genuinely concerned. It was like, all right, I'm going to look into this shit because if it's true, I want to know if this shit's fucking true. You know, I want to know if our government, did this or did that, like, or if the British government did the fucking, 7/7 bombings. Like, it wasn't like, hey, I liked this. It's like, oh fuck, what the fuck? If this is true, that's fucked up.
But when you would go through and find bits of information, or if you were contributing,
no, it would just add to my concern. Like, and that's why I fucking eventually realized, hey, wait, I've just been reading these fucking websites. I need to fucking learn actual shit. Like,
science and engineering.
I need to learn about physics. I need to learn about like blah, 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 blah. And so like, and in the end, it made me smarter because I fucking, stopped going, all right, I'm going to stop reading fucking Alex Jones and whatreallyhappened.com and shit. And I'm just going to I'm going to look at the video. I'm going to look at actual stuff that doesn't have somebody else's perspective.
Right.
Ingrained into it.
See, and that's another problem too, is that like, because also with this day, if you think about it, this is when a lot of the conspiracy tube like exploded. Now, I think that was going to naturally happen with or without this event anyway, because it's just how the internet proliferated. But let's be real. I mean, Alex Jones was a man that made his money on the internet doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that he would be able to get out there and almost do it from his safe space and not actually go through like an institutional critiquing process. Like guys like you know, the guys at MIT, the engineers, like they'll submit shit and then it's going to go through everyone else's, like they don't follow, like he doesn't follow the scientific method for one. I mean, that's just flat out, you know.
Yeah.
But it was almost like this. It fascinates me in a way. Like in all seriousness, it does fascinate me in a way, because this is something that is like, okay, take any of the conspiracy theories, okay, take any of the sci-fi stuff, okay, be it a chemtrail, be it with 9/11 or with 7/7 or any of these other things, any of these other events. And the thing is like, it's an arbitrary, the explanation and the research that they do is so arbitrary to begin with. You know what I mean? Like it's arbitrary. You know what I mean? Like it's, because again, like I said, it's not like they're submitting this for peer review out of the science journals and all this shit.
Yeah.
They're just going to their YouTube or their blog and they're going to your MySpace blog and just typing out what you're saying right then and there as 7/7's happening on MSNBC or whatever channel you were watching that night.
Yeah.
But like I said, they start off and they are at their core arbitrary, and they're arbitrary arguments in hindsight, because they're obviously happened after the event. And it's easy, because what happened with the loose change guys? Every time someone will come out and be like, "No, you're wrong about this. You're wrong about this."
Here's out another edition.
Here's our new edition, and they have an answer for everything. You know what I mean? Like, but really no proof. But it's like, why folks are just so like to the chest about it, when again it's something that's arbitrary to begin with. It's and if you do sit there and present it to someone in a factual, like if you were to sit there and say we did have the real structural reason why the towers did what they fucking did, we can prove it with the science, it wasn't this nefarious cloak and dagger. Okay, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm being arbitrary by saying this. Okay, say we took this to our friend D, he would, I mean, without talking to him in years, I know that he would probably get like visibly aggressive and just pissed. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
well, he'd get insistent. He wouldn't get pissed so much as insistent. But he would be like, "No, look, let me show you this. Let me show you this." And it's like, because to him, it's like, how can you doubt that it's anything other?
But the thing is like, tying this to the religion, it's like, it's the same thing if you were to sit there and you really smash the creationist over like, dude, here's dinosaur fossils, here's like the evidence that we were around for 5 million years, our ancestors before modern humans 100,000 years ago. The earth is more than 6,000 years old. Here's the fucking proof, blah, blah. They get so adamant, like their whole core is under attack. And this, it's like the same thing. It's like a religion. It really is like a religion now, you know? And it's almost to the point where they're not really advancing. Like a theologian will go in there and like dig through like different types of books. Like if it's a Catholic theologian, he'll go and read stuff like from ancient Jewish writings, Sumerian, Assyrians, Babylonian, Roman. Like they go and read all this stuff, because then it can give them a better context and a better picture of what the world was looking like in the different epochs and eras of Christianity and specifically Catholicism. And Christianity came much later. But it's like, they don't even do that anymore. Like it just seems like, dude, if we were to go on YouTube and just search up 9/11 truth, because I know like the one podcast I watch, they put their full date in. They'll say 9/11/17 Tuesday, blah blah blah, or Monday or whatever. Yeah. So of course all the 9/11 shit popped up in the side. There's people making fresh videos still about
but it's
this
all
shit.
Just regurgitating the same stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. It's gotten to the point now where it's almost like how they pass down, like,
open up the book of 9/11, go to chapter 12, verse 6, and lo, upon the striking of the second plane, That's basically what it is now. and that's why I kind of tried to distance myself from it, because it's like, and that's why I just go to where the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth kind of are, and it's just like, we don't know what the fuck happened,
but we have some questions about this.
But we have questions about what happened, because
they don't
this stuff doesn't make sense. They just want to show us how this fucking mechanically worked out, because from a physics perspective, we don't see how it worked.
How this would happen.
How those buildings collapsed like that.
Yeah, it is a bit like I can kind of respect them for that, because they're not coming out there like. And if I were to sit there,
they're not speculating. They're just going off of what they see.
And it also sounds like they'd be pretty chill in the conversation. Like, you're not going to see them get red faced and freak the fuck out with a bullhorn like Jones did outside of all these goddamn rallies. Like,
well, they're also not going to be like, oh well, we know that it was the CIA. And this, they're not going to say stuff like that. They're not going to say like, oh, it was a government conspiracy to blah, blah, blah.
Someone calling us?
No, I think that was I think that was a notification from Facebook.
Oh, someone unfriended you.
Yeah, because you still have the.
Well, I'm keeping up in case someone calls.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I got it low in the background. But, yeah, speaking of which, Google Hangout. It's been scrolling. I think.
Yeah, I've been popping the scroll up every once in a while.
Oh, nice. You're cutting through. Also, we put the little thing right there.
Yeah, we got ourselves a little.
We actually were official. We got a logo.
Yeah, we got a little watermark now.
And a Chiron. I guess this is technically now a Chiron.
Marquee. I would call it.
Well, Chiron's the name of it. It's almost like Band-Aids. It's technically a lower third graphic, but they call them Chirons to shit on the news, because that's the name of the company that made the software that everybody uses. Just like Band-Aids, they're adhesive strips, but everyone calls them Band-Aids.
We'll call it an OBS, because
an OBS.
We're doing it with OBS.
An OBS. It's our lower. We got lower third graphics now. Yeah. But yeah, I just, like I said, I just find that it's stuff fascinating, because I hung out with you guys and I heard everyone's perspectives and points on it and so forth, and it just seemed like it got just even in recent years now too, because especially on how. One, I mean, look, we're two assholes doing a fucking YouTube show. You know what I'm saying? Like, with a $60 1080p camera and shit. You know what I'm saying? And a couple $100 in audio equipment. But again, it's just like any jack off can get on fucking YouTube. And they spit this shit. And like, for whatever reason, when it's on YouTube and if it gets lots of views, then it must be right. And then again, like I said, it's just so. I'll scroll through the comment sections, I won't comment. I just lurk and I just look, and it's just so like fundamentalist. It's so fucking like off the wall, just like true believer type shit. Yeah. I mean, it's still fascinating, and unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get any better. I don't think we're going to get any more clarity to these things.
Well, the problem with that crowd is they always claim they're open-minded. They always claim they're willing to learn how they're wrong. But when you actually try to teach them how they're wrong, because that's what I've been doing for a long time, is trying to teach them, like the Chem Trailers. I've been trying to teach the Chem Trailers, like, dude, that shit's bullshit. Like, and I show them stuff, and dude, fucking, well, what about this video? Look at this video on YouTube. Dude. And the worst of them is the people who just say, the only evidence I need is to walk outside and look up. And it's like, dude, then you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, think, unless you got some like super prosthetic eyes from the future that can do fucking chemical analysis from fucking 25,000 feet away.
Right.
You can't tell the difference between a fucking chemtrail and a contrail. Because, frankly, because there is no such thing as a chemtrail.
Well, and it's also, too, just like how they made a buzzworthy word with, it's short for chemical contrail or chemical trail. Yeah. And it's chemtrail. It's like, it seems like folks are just more interested in the packaging and the marketing than actually getting in there and doing the dirt. And then
they don't do the hard research. They fucking read sites.
They'll tell you, I've read and researched. You need to read. The
problem is they don't understand what the word research means. They think going on to fucking abovetopsecret.com or fucking some shit is doing research.
Yeah,
They don't understand. They can't comprehend. Well, okay. Well, if planes are spraying, that means there has to be spraying mechanisms in the actual plane's wing. So I'm going to look up schematics of a 747 on the internet and look at what's in a fucking 747's plane wing.
And from what you...
Because if they had, they would find there's fucking almost no available space inside of a plane wing.
Well,
every fucking open spare inch, they try to devote towards the fuel tanks or towards
the fuel line systems. Well, that's what I was going to... That was
electrical conduits and fuel lines and
that was the
hydraulic lines for the fucking ailerons and fucking flaps and shit.
That was the one thing that kind of blew my mind when you said, like, yeah, like the entire fuselage of that plane has like fuel running all over it. For the most part, like through some type of tank and tube system and piping system. I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like especially out on the wing. So
and
I mean, look, just common sense. Okay, how much liquid volume of this chemical would you need to store on board to actually make it an effective spray over an area?
Oh, that's the other thing is like spraying at 25,000 feet. Like you have to think about the volume of air it has to dilute out into. By the time it would reach the ground, it would be like in the single digit parts per million. Like even if they fucking like heavy, super heavy spray, like completely obvious spray, by the time it got to the ground from 25,000 feet or higher, it's going to be so diluted out that at most it would just fucking inoculate people to it.
Right.
It would be so little, your body would go, hey, what the fuck is this? All right, we're going to figure out how to fight this because that's not enough to actually hurt us, but a lot of that could hurt us. And then your body's just going to...
It's almost like you're getting vaccinated.
So all they would be doing is inoculating you to their poison.
Right.
Like, if the government wanted to poison us, they literally control our water supply.
I was about to say, no,
why would they fucking waste their time spraying it in the air? Well, and they could just dump it into the fucking thing.
Or even then, they don't have to dump nothing. They just don't fix the pipes, and then you have Flint, Michigan. You know what I mean? And just kill the people with lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
there's like so many more effective ways that that if the government wanted to poison us all, they could.
What do you think on the psychology here? Like big picture again. We'll take it back out. What do you think leads people into this? I mean, is it because like they can't, because they need to have an answer for something, they just can't accept things that are beyond their control? Is it a power thing? Is it a matter of like I have control over this situation? I know you had a different...
I think what it is they're people who want to know something that other people don't know. And that's why they fucking get so like defensive and even offensive about it. Is that they think that I know something that people don't know, and I want to teach people this. And anybody who doesn't believe it.
So this is ego.
This is partially ego, and it's partially just fucking lack of education. They're not smart enough. It's Dunning-Kruger effect. They're not smart enough to know.
They're not smart enough.
How unintelligent they actually are.
Right.
They think that, I went through school, and so yeah, I'm smart. And it's like, no, school doesn't have anything to do with being smart. School is about you being able to memorize things. Being smart isn't knowing stuff. Being smart is knowing stuff and knowing how to use that knowledge.
Well, and it also like, I guess like smart could also mean like your problem solving skills.
Yeah,
I mean your analyzing skills, your reading comprehension, being like you said, being able to take the data in. And hey, if you already have some data up there that could help translate some stuff ahead of time, cool. But then also being, I guess, smart would be like, okay, I got this data.
Being smart enough to not understand, okay, or being smart enough to understand, okay, I don't know enough about this,
so go learn it.
So I'm going to go learn about it.
Right. These
people, like the Chem Trailers, they see what they see that convinces them chemtrails are real, and then they take it as, oh, well, this must be true. They don't think to go, oh, well, I'm going to go fucking research the fuck out of this using credible sources. No, I'm just going to take what I've been told, and because it makes sense to me now, I'm just going to go with it.
Right.
I'm not going to question my own belief because they don't understand the benefit of questioning your own beliefs. They don't understand that questioning your own beliefs leads you to dig deeper and find more solid information.
Well, and maybe then it also went that digging deeper. Maybe it's because they're afraid that
a lot
they're
of people
going to
don't like to be wrong.
Well, I was going to say, and that maybe because there is that little bit of embarrassment that may have come up. Maybe there is a guy that sits there and he finds like, oh, let me go see what the sheeple are talking about, and then they start reading through this stuff and like, oh shit, I've been wrong this whole time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, the problem is the people.
Pride is a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Pride is a motherfucker.
People that believe in conspiracy theories. Part of the problem is a lot of these people are so invested. They've been like me at one point. Like I was into that shit for years, and I could see how a lot of people would go, I've been reading about this stuff for years, and I've been believing this stuff for years. I've been telling my family and my friends about this shit for years, and if I stop believing in it, then I've wasted a fuck ton of my time. I've made myself look like an ass to everybody I know. And they just can't deal with that. So they won't, consider the possibility that they're wrong. Because if they're wrong, then they have to fucking accept the fact that they've made an ass of themselves. Because that's like how these Chem Trailers are. Like
right.
They've been telling their family and friends for years, oh, they're flying over and they're poisoning us. And they fucking put so much time and effort into reading about that crap that it's like... It's just too big of a fucking leap. Okay, they'd rather just keep on going. They'd rather stick with it and go the distance,
right?
Than fucking realize. Look at the information that shows them they're wrong.
Now, this is the last question on this. Because again, I am fascinated by it, and you've definitely been on both sides, if you will. So I kind of, if you don't mind, like I kind of like to just pick the brain a little bit, not about the things, but just like where people may come from with it. Now, so this is the last one, I promise, because we've been on for like 40 minutes. Do you think that these conspiracies, or at least this market, this genre, conspiracy tube, as I call it, or whatever, like there's politics tube, sports tube, music tube, but do you think in like this extreme politics / conspiracy tube, like, I personally feel, and I am kind of giving a loaded question here to you, I think this has been very dangerous over the past 16 years. I think this has done a lot of damage to journalism. I think it's done a lot of damage to the overall level of intelligence of the masses, if you will. And I don't expect the masses to be super intelligent, but when you overhear shit in a bar where a guy mentions chemtrails and it's almost like this casual thing now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it just seems like this conspiracy stuff, it just comes up in like casual conversation.
It's like blended into pop culture almost.
And the thing what's scary about that is that it means it's like kind of like accepted in a way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like and I worry about that type of stuff because there may be a time or like for instance, like what's going on right now with the it's Mueller time, but with the Mueller investigation, with the Russia interference and in the private side with their money with Trump and his money with them, and then on the public side of what they may have actually done to the election itself, like. But as soon as they started this investigation, you automatically had people, no, that's not real. That's not real. It's the government trying to cover something up and blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, that could be one possibility, but there are other possibilities here. Like there's other things at play here. It's not, I don't, it just makes everything just seems so binary when everything is not fucking binary.
Very, very few things are actually binary. And that's what people don't understand. Like people have been sucked into this left-right paradigm bullshit for so long. It's Coke versus Pepsi, Chevy versus Ford, Ferrari versus Lamborghini,
Dem versus Republican.
Kraft versus fucking Velveeta. It's like people have been sucked into this binary mindset, and like they don't understand. Like the Coke versus Pepsi. Oh, it's you like Coke or you like Pepsi? And it's like no, there's other kinds of cola out there. Like,
Yeah.
Like what? What do you
RC Cola.
What do you mean?
Mr. Pip.
Jolt's
Jolt
coming
Cola.
back.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Get
Oh shit!
Get all fucking beat.
Dude, we're gonna have a fucking 10-hour show next week.
Yeah,
once you get Jolt.
We're gonna like suck down like 6 jolts and come
Jesus
on the air.
Christ.
And just like, I am Cornelio. Yeah, I do think this chemtrails or it's chemtrails. This conspiracy stuff has gotten a little dangerous because now like they're very
Pizzagate. A guy went and shot up that fucking pizza parlor because he thought there was a sex trafficking cannibalism
Alex Jones made some bullshit up.
Which he repeated from 4chan. It was started on 4chan. This again, see, some guy was actually debating, quote unquote, /arguing with me in a Facebook thread. He's like, "Why you gotta give Alex Jones all this shit, man? He works hard." I'm like, "Dude, he doesn't work hard." I told him
he works hard to bullshit people.
Right. And I kind of hinted at your story. I was like, the guy literally just copy and pasted my buddy's blog from when he was a 24-year-old kid about 7'7" and just threw it on his website. And I haven't had a chance to go back and actually do like a search to see his videos about it, because then I'm going to read the report, your blog on his page. I'm going to read it and listen to it and see if it's the script. I wouldn't put it past him that it's the fucking script. Or at least he used that as his jump off point so that he can go off and 1776, all that BS garbage. But then the same thing with the Pizzagate. It started on 4chan. He somehow picks it up, like he finds it. He then regurgitates it. He puts a video out there saying she's talking about Hillary Clinton, saying she's butchering babies in a basement. He's crying. The dude's fucking crying on air. All of a sudden, the crazy dude from North Carolina. Because he's an Alex Jones. If Alex Jones didn't talk about the Pizzagate shit, it would have just stayed on 4chan and dark parts of Reddit, and no one would have fucking known any difference. But then it goes to this guy who has like several million fucking watchers and listeners, and this dude,
many of them whom are fervent, just followers,
like hardcore.
I fucking had this one friend on Facebook who I had met when I worked at Holland Adventure, like the very fact that I fucking messaged her about something and told her, yeah, that's bullshit. Here's why it's bullshit. She just fucking not just unfriended me. She completely blocked me. She was just like, you're a fucking shill, and fucking blocked me. And it's like, what the like what? Like, you are so against hearing the opposite of what you believe that you're just gonna delete. Like, I'm deleting this guy from my existence because he doesn't believe what I believe.
I'm guessing this is like
it's fucking really bad for people's minds.
Well, I mean, the bubbling has been bad all the way around. I mean, I try not to bubble. Like, people end up just deleting and blocking me. There's only I will say there was only one guy because of politics that I had to remove him. Well, his 3 accounts. Because I mean, this is a dude. He's like in his late 40s, and he is just foaming at the mouth, dude. Like, hardcore right winger. Like, you can't talk to him, and if you start talking to him, like, dude, Jim, you're not right about this. Like, you're a poop fucker, poop eater, liberal faggot, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just liberal to him is a dirty word. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the worst thing. It's like calling someone a faggot. You know what I mean? Like even then, watching that there's some of the behind the scenes shit on that Vice documentary with Charlottesville. Yeah. Like, they would just you would just hear people say the word, oh, some liberals out there, but just like casually throwing it around, like dudes in Nam talking about Charlie. You know what I mean? You have Charlie's out there, got to handle Charlie. Got to go deal with Charlie again. You know what I mean? Like, they're that's like their Charlie now. Is that word liberal? And it's anyone that doesn't fucking agree with them, and not only doesn't agree with them, but also in their camp and fucking right alongside of them too. Like, it's so, again, it's coming back. It's so cult like. It's such fundamentalism. I mean, it is on. I hate to say that cliche of both sides, but it's really on the right wing to the point where, like, I don't know what to fucking do.
If you don't believe what we believe, you're a fucking Democrat libtard. Like.
And it's like anything.
Like, I've had them call, like, they love to pigeonhole. Like, I got into a fucking conversation with one dude, And he was like, "Oh, you're just a Democrat libtard, blah blah blah." And it's like, dude, no, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm not left wing or right wing. I'm a fucking moderate centrist. Like, I don't fucking play your fucking party politics bullshit. Like, when the left does something stupid, I call them out on it. When the right does something stupid, like, I support some of the things the left believes or supports. I support some of the things that the right supports. Like, I support Second Amendment.
Well, that's a bit of a misnomer though, because that's been like propaganda.
But they love to pigeonhole it as if you're a Democrat, you hate guns. You must hate guns.
Which is not true. Like, because
but the way the right wing is acting, I think that Democrats need to fucking abandon the whole fucking fight against gun thing, because I could see if the fucking right doesn't get put in check soon, I could see them fucking, because I mean, look, they've already been fucking carrying guns in Charlottesville, they had they had dudes for like full battle rattle and fucking bulletproof vests and fucking camos and fucking carrying AR-15s and shit.
Which honestly, if you think
it's like, whoa, like, that's fucking crazy.
Well, and that's
oh, we're just open carrying. Yeah, you're open carrying a fucking AR-15. You've got fucking extra magazines with you. You've got fucking
gear on,
tactical fucking gear on, and camo. Like, you're fucking ready for war, dude. Like,
right. Well, and you're
not just open carrying. Open carrying is me. I've got a fucking, if I'm walking through town and I've got a fucking,
40.
You
got a 40
Glock 40.
Yeah.
Caliber pistol on my fucking waist. That's open carrying. You walking around fucking full battle
like
rattle,
this.
Like, you're like fucking like ready to go fucking attack the Taliban or some shit. Like, dude, no, you're not just open carrying. You're fucking attempting to intimidate people.
Well, and that's where
the worst part is those dudes were there. They wanted to intimidate the fucking the left wing, so that the left wing, and they wanted to antagonize the left wing so that the left wing would fucking fight them so that they could fucking shoot them.
Right.
And claim, oh, it was self-defense. They attacked us. And like, that's fucked up. Like, that's fucking dangerous shit. Well, and that means they're on a fucking bad path.
Right.
And well, and like, yes, I know, well, not all right wingers are like those people, but the ones who aren't like that need to fucking step up and be like, yo, we don't fucking condone that shit. You fucking people are fucked up. We're going to side with the left on this one. You guys are fucking being fucked up.
Well, and I always brought this point up in Facebook comments and conversation sections and all that stuff. I always just basically said, first off, okay, one, they said it's a rally for free speech, which is dumb because you say it's free speech with a statue. Well, who's fucking with the statue's free speech? And two, no, the government's not fucking with your free speech. Like everyone has to get off this kick about my free speech. Well, unless the government comes and shuts you down, it's not a first. Remember when we did that thing where I muted your microphone out? Like that's the thing. It's like they're confusing all that shit together because Breitbart's like losing advertising revenue. Yeah, well, that's private citizens talking to private companies saying, "Hey, you're advertising on Breitbart right now. Did you know this?" That's not the government fucking with them. Yeah. That's private citizens doing. And hey, power of the marketplace, right? Yeah. I mean, it's all about the free market. Let the free market decide. Well, if people wanted to sit there and educate the market, specifically these companies. Anyways, so one, okay, you want to call it a free speech rally the right. Okay, you're out there exercising your First Amendment, which is what they were doing, right to assembly and speak their views. There's a reason why the First Amendment was first and the Second Amendment is second. Okay? You need to bring your second along to reinforce your first. Again, it's in specific order. One, then two. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, and also, like, what does that say about you? Like you said, what is that saying about you on the intimidation factor? But also, just from a philosophical standpoint, you're not that confident in your views that you got to bring a gun to shut up your fucking opposition?
Yeah, like, I mean, I've been to protests. I fucking protested across the street from the White House against the Iraq war. But nobody there was fucking armed.
Right. Yeah.
We had snipers on the fucking roof of the White House. And this just shows you kind of how fucked up things were during the Bush administration. We had snipers on the roof of the White House looking at us through their sniper scopes.
Yep.
And none of us were armed.
Right.
Because we weren't afraid. We weren't like, because, it's not like the snipers were going to shoot us. That would have fucking been such a fucking bad... especially if we were unarmed. So, you don't need to be armed when you're... Well, you don't necessarily need to be armed when you're protesting. During the Bush administration, things did get to the point where, it might have been a good idea to be armed because of, just the straight fucking... some of the tactics the Bush administration used against the fucking protesters, during Bush's second inauguration, they literally fucking walled all the protesters in.
Oh, well, they started doing that, what was it? It was, they joked around and called them free speech zones, but they basically called it, they were protesting.
No, they brought in these big fucking steel things that fucking had fucking holes in them, and they fucking literally locked protesters into a fucking area.
They did, and they did that at the conventions.
There was no escape.
Yeah, they did it at the conventions. They did that during the Occupy Wall Street. They took the construction nets and it's just like a fucking fisherman in a fucking river, just trout fished all these people down the street. They did it in Philly at 13th and Capitol Hill.
Yeah, that shit's messed up.
So I just wanted to touch on some of those questions because, like I said, I find this stuff fascinating because it's we have the world is at our fucking fingertips, man. I mean, I'm borrowing your Chromebook right here. I got my bus schedule up. If I want to go look up, I mean, you literally have tens of thousands of Library of Alexandrias in my hand right now.
Mm.
All of human knowledge is available to me with an internet connection, and it just seems like we're getting more and more and more. At least a segment of us are just getting far more superstitious. You know what I mean? It just seems so fanatical, religious, superstitious. It's intangible, and again, anyone can add to it. Anybody can add to the oral history because you just go start up a YouTube channel, repeat the shit you read off of fucking Jones's page, and then and have a Patreon. And then all of a sudden, now you're a fucking YouTube journalist or some bullshit. Yeah. Which again, I always say about this shit, we're not fucking journalists. We're not news at all. We comment on this shit. We're just opinion.
Yeah. We're just variety
bullshitters.
Topics,
we're not bullshitters, but we shoot the shit,
This is a completely informal show where it's not like we're telling you anything that you're supposed to be believing. It's just all opinion. And we don't profess to be fucking.
Excuse me.
Some sort of an authority.
All right, you want to take the break?
Yeah.
It's been an hour already.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
But that was good stuff though, because like I said, I never got a chance to really ask you about that, on the psychology side of it. Not that I thought, oh, he's fucking crazy. I gotta help my fucking buddy out, guys. Just don't let him know the rubber jacket or the fucking rubber room's coming later. But just to I'd love to talk to D about it. But
he's
I can only imagine he's probably so far gone at this point.
I mean, he believes in reptilians, man.
David Icke style.
Yeah, he believes that the world is run by aliens, and it's a damn shame.
Dude can play fucking guitar.
He went too deep.
Never go
too deep.
Never go full David Icke. You went full Icke, man.
The thing about David Icke is a lot of the people who believe the shit that he puts out is he doesn't even believe it himself. He makes it nonchalantly clear that he doesn't actually believe the stuff himself.
I mean, he was a fucking, what do you call it? He was a fucking soccer announcer.
Yeah.
He was a fucking soccer announcer. And all of a sudden he just woke up one day and said, reptilians run the world.
Well, he actually says, sources tell me.
See, that's the best.
Sources.
So it's the Fox News move too.
Yeah,
some people will say, which is just basically, I'm pulling this out of my ass right now, and I need to make it sound like other people said it, so I'm not the fucking dummy that's out here on a limb.
Yeah. But Yeah, it's just a whole big fucked up thing. But yeah, so I suppose we'll touch on my weekend since.
Yeah, real fast.
For our break.
Yeah, so you got some video of us. Who was the name of this band that you went and saw?
Yeah, so on Friday, I had remembered. Well, my brother, Dr. Rock, I got a notification that he was going to an event near me on Saturday, and I was like, "Hey, wait, is that the concert he was telling me about on when we went to go to the BMW event?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked him about it. I was like, "Hey, is that the concert you were telling me about?" He's like, "Yeah." He was like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he got me a ticket, and we went Saturday night. And the band's called Conspirator. And basically,
hey.
yeah, funnily, nice segue. We talked about conspiracies, and now we jump into Conspirator. But basically, this band it's an interesting band. They're part jam band, part jungle, part dubstep, with like a splash of Daft Punk, and it was really, really awesome concert. And I actually found some footage online, courtesy, and we got permission to use it from 215 Music, the channel.
I think I've seen this channel before. I wouldn't be surprised if I got any shit on there.
So go check out 215 Music on YouTube, because they post all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it was they were at the Ardmore Music Hall, which is this little venue. It used to be called Brownies 23 East, and it's apparently they get like the most kick-ass acts for such a small venue.
Dude, it's definitely different than when when it was Brownies, because like Brownies did they would do guys like Tommy Conwell and the Young Rumblers. You know what I mean? They would kind of do some of the older guys, if you will, that are like not on the bigger circuit anymore, but they're not washed up. You know what I'm saying? Like you might get like a Jakey Lee, the guitar player from Ozzy, or Rudy Sarzo. Speaking of which, Blizzard of Oz released on this day back in like 1980. I just saw that, so. But yeah, you would get guys like that. You know what I mean? Because like they're not gonna do the Wells Fargo, but they're not going to do the little fucking nightclub down the street. So they would get into like Brownies, which is like at the time, I think it was like an 800 person club, maybe 1,000 or something like that. But Brownies was okay. But yeah, what they did to Ardmore with the new layout is like, holy shit, dude. Yeah. Like, I can't believe, like, I mean, y'all don't see it. I'm looking at the preview. Like, I still can't believe that was Brownies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the stage wasn't set up like that. It was off to the freaking side. They had the bar right there. You know what I mean? Like, so it was definitely, Brownies was definitely more of a bar venue. And this is an actual, like, venue. You know what I mean? Like, but they
granted, it's not like a huge place, but it looks they cool. Still have it set up really well.
I mean, that looks cool as fuck, dude. I mean, that looks awesome as shit.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, I got your channel up, buddy. So this is Conspirator.
Yeah, they start out with, I believe the song is called. Yeah, they start out with. Let me. I believe the song is. They start out with is Up, and then they segue into their song called Powwow. Here, I'm just going to remove this second one from the playlist for now, because the first one's 16 minutes. That should give us plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be.
But yeah. So I'll. All right. So.
And the guy that shot this, it sounds great.
Yeah, considering how loud it was in there. Yeah, so. Yeah. Pretty awesome.
He's fucking grooving right there. See some girlies up there dancing.
Yeah, so. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes, folks. and enjoy this video.
Conspirator? Conspirator. And that was the Ardmore Music Hall this weekend. So I'm happy you got out the house and actually had some fun. Meanwhile, I got destroyed at work on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was over at doing an event. It was basically a rich people party, and oh my god, anything and everything. And oh yeah, Riley just checking in with us. She said, "I wish I had about 6 shots of tequila and was at wherever this place is with the kick-ass band, Ardmore Music Hall in Philly."
Wait, was she there?
No, she said she wishes. Oh. I wish I had about 6 shots of tequila. Riley, what's your choice? Patron, Cuervo, 1800. Yeah, who's your? It's gonna have to catch up to her in a sec. But yeah, this is from 215 Music.
Yeah, head on over to their channel. They got all kinds of videos of shows up there.
I'm gonna be surprised if I got a show in there.
Yeah.
I should have to go. I should go.
What's funny is I'm actually in one of the videos that he took this night.
Oh, that's awesome. But real fast on what was it you were saying that the guitar player had to drive up from Florida because the flights were canceled or something?
Yeah, so he had to haul it up in a car because this was like one of the 2 shows that they were doing for a while, and so it was like if he couldn't make it, they were going to cancel. Made it, they would have had to cancel the show. And
1800, very nice.
It would have been 50% of their performances for a while completely gone. So
just because of our
guy was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to fucking truck it up there, man.
So so speaking of the hurricane, real brief, because we're gonna be running out of time here because we got a lot that we're gonna get to. Real brief, everyone down south with the family, who's mostly in the Tampa, Hillsborough County area, they're all good. The house they were staying at a friend's house, which was more inland, still in Hillsborough County, still Tampa, but definitely more inland. Didn't even lose power. Like they just
that's good.
They just straight were like, I could tell my dad, my bro, and their buddy Mike was just probably crushing beers all night. You know what I mean? Like, I think the worst that happened was they ran out of alcohol. I mean, but when they finally got back to the house, they basically, oh, you're trying to find you real quick.
Yeah.
When they got back to their house, no damage whatsoever. The worst that happened was they lost power, but they killed the power and the water anyway. The you know what I mean, just for safety's sake. But boarded up the windows, all that stuff, and again, nothing, dude. Like the worst that happened was a patch that they put on the lanai / screen porch that's around the pole. The little tiny patch that they used, it's the size of my hand, like fell off. Oh, hashtag remember Irma. You know what I mean? like that was the worst that happened. And it was crazy because like when I was talking to my mother about it the next day on Monday, yesterday, she said when we were driving into the neighborhood and pulling around that corner, she was like, I was expecting the one tree to just be completely through the house and it was done. That would have been it. And she was like, she said she almost broke down in tears just because like she couldn't, just because there was nothing. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. You know what I mean? Like, same with my aunt's house. Like my aunt and uncle got lucky. They were able to bug out from their place in Goldstein all the way up to North Carolina, which was amazing because they weren't selling gas. They stopped selling gas at the gas stations. And the highway,
a lot of places also ran out.
Well, they and a lot of places too, they just stopped because they didn't want to have everyone. Because like I was saying to you outside when I got here and we were smoking a cig, can you imagine if you go and you got a pickup truck and you fill up with a full tank of gas and then you park the thing in the driveway and then the tree comes down on top of it.
Yeah.
You have a full tank of gas unless you know how to siphon, suck the tube to get the gravity flow going. You know what I mean? It's that gas is doing nothing for nobody now at that point. You know what I mean? Like, or the tank gets ruptured and you lose all that gas into the ground. Yeah. So I can kind of see like at the point, like one of the things we were just speculating and surmising is that they shut it down because to prevent the runs and running out of it, run on the gas station. But also too, I think a smarter reason would be, well, we're going to need the gas to clean up. So why don't you all just wait until then and buy it? You know what I mean? Like it just, that's, who knows what the methods to the madness were, but everyone's good, man. I mean, it was As I was joking with my brother over text message, because texting was fine. They could text down there, no problems. Phone calls were a little spotty. But
Yeah.
like I was just texting to him. I was just like, dude, figures us. You know what I mean? Like, it's our curse. It's our family's curse. Like, your first ever hurricane. And of course, it's a fucking banger of her. At least how it started that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Florida got lucky. That storm was projected to be a Category 4 still when it was going to hit Florida, and then
it just died.
For some reason, it just started petering out right as it was getting to Florida.
And then even then, like when it got to Florida too, right? It goes past Miami and then just makes this hard right turn up into Naples. Like it literally 90-degree turn. Like you would think, oh, it's just going to keep going into the Gulf somewhere. But no, it just, you know what I mean? It pulled a freaking bank robber getaway car move.
Yeah,
it pulled an e-brake skid turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean everyone's good down there.
Well, that's good
for my fam.
Yeah, everybody on my Facebook friends feed from Florida, they
saw the
Okay.
check-ins.
Everything was okay.
Yeah, you saw the Facebook check-ins.
Yeah.
So speaking of Facebook, you want to bring yours up here real fast and search Jimmy Jabs. He should be on our
Jimmy Jabs.
Yeah, he should be on our Slacker Americana list, so it should just come right up for you. So my buddy Kurt from the old Black Collar Radio from the internet. There you go. That's him. There he is, Coach. He put his coach. Fucking Kurt. Curty. So actually, I want to put this out. Also, so we did this on the show, probably in the single-digit episodes, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Where my buddy Kurt from the old internet radio campaign days. See if did he put it on the YouTube? Or did he put it on? Scroll down. It's probably just the video tabs being stupid. Yeah, it's probably the latest post. No, go to regular posts. There it is. Yeah. Okay, he did put it on Facebook. We my buddy Kurt's got this character, Jimmy Jabs. It's your typical Northeast Philly scumbag, Eagles fan type of deal. You know what I mean? And it's fucking hilarious because. So if you all remember from the previous episodes, there was a caller into one of the sports talk radio shows here in Philly, and he kind of like bit the routine and so forth and so on, for the most part. So, but Kurt's been going away because he hasn't been able to stay consistent. But he just did a new one for for the Eagles. And I don't know if this was, but now I haven't seen this, so I'm going to be this is cold to me as it is to you and to everyone else out there. So I'm not sure if this was before or after the game, in which the Eagles beat that ass.
Let me get it prepared here. You don't have to turn it up yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to get it up here so that it went vertical video. Remember, folks, if you record something, do it landscape, not portrait.
Well, he's still learning.
All right, so...
Yeah, I'm going to tag Curdy in this. I'm like, hey, Kurt, we're talking about your shit. So, yeah. So here we go. Here's Jimmy Jabs giving us his latest video and update from the Eagles game this past week.
All right, so I will...
Yeah, go screen and screen with it. Oh, see, I like that.
Should I go screen and screen or?
Yeah, go screen and screen. Yeah, because they can read. Then they can read. Because the best part about it too is the fucking subtitles that he puts up.
Okay. Well, I can do this one. Hold on.
Wait, which one you doing?
Yeah, I'll do that one. Ooh.
New and improved Slackers.
Yeah, new and improved Slackers.
New camera so you can count all the fucking blemishes and wrinkles in my face.
Yeah.
You can count all his hairs.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. It's Jimmy Jabs John here.
Jimmy Jablonski from Juniata.
Yeah. All right, let's...
Yo, what's going on, man? My name's Elder Topinski. I live on Frankfurt Avenue, dude. And I'm just a little old lady, man, collecting a little SSI check, you know. Nah, sorry, dude. It's your boy Jimmy Javante from Juniata, a.k.a. Jack. And, yeah, I'm not no drag queen or nothing like that, dude, but I saw a pretty good scheme present itself, and I was like, yeah, I need to capitalize, you know? So, I'm walking down the street, I'm at, like, Frankfurt North of Dot, and, all of a sudden, there's a dead old lady on her fucking porch, dude. I was like, yeah, I'm like the first one here, I'm the only one that knows she's dead. So I like ripped her up and I threw her back in the fucking house. She's been back there for like 2 weeks now, dude. It's starting to stink, dude. But I've been like collecting SSI money and shit, dude. I kind of feel like Norman Bates and stuff, dude. But yeah, you get in where you fit in, dude. Meanwhile, over here, I got a bottle of wine and shit, dude. I'm fucking living like a little king over here. Except, I'm not Jimmy Jazz. I'm Zelda Dupinski, dude, as far as you know.
Zelda Dupinski.
Ain't that bad, dude. It kind of worked out for the best, dude, because I've been ducking Pablo. He lives off Allegheny for like 2 weeks now for like $150, man. I done get me like a half pound of Percocets. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need them, dude. I'm going on a bender. I explained the situation to him. And then eventually I just decided, to beat, dude. I'm from Juniata, dude, you know. I'm gonna owe you money, dude, you know, but you're probably gonna have to end up fighting me at some point, you know. And then if you beat me up, you probably like feel better about it. I don't even end up paying in the end anyway, dude. It's a fucking win-win. And I'm just living life like a king now, man. I got wine. Oh my god, dude. This old lady had a private stash on her, dude. Barefoot Moscato, dude. Oh man, it tastes like foot bath water, man. Oh, but I like it. So I got to sit here, dude. I got to watch the whole Eagles game, man. I mean, like, almost all of it, dude, because I blacked out twice, but whatever, dude. I'll see it all the important parts, dude. I just know something. Pete Wentz might be the next Bet Farts, dude. I mean, seriously, this dude's a gunslinger, through and through. I see him back there. He's fucking, wow, dipping people, but wow, just dropping back, dude, firing fucking balls down the fucking field, dude. And, yeah, I think he's the real deal, man. Telling you, this dude's gonna be the guy who brings us like 10 Super Bowls, man, without a fucking doubt.
Super Bowls.
You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden at the end of the game, man, you got Felcher Cock coming up, through the middle, man, just totally shutting the game down, sealing the deal. You know what I mean? Dirk Cummins, dude, he didn't even see it Cummins, dude. I mean, for real, man, I feel real good about this team, dude. I mean, I look like that old wrestler, Dick Hare. So, woo! Dude, but if I got a beef at all, it's with fucking Doug Beeferson, dude. What is all with your play calling, dude? Keep throwing fucking screen passes. Yeah, that's gonna win a game, dude. You're crazy, man. Why you keep doing that? You keep throwing these little passes out to Christina Aguilera outside. When me and you both know, dude, Blump should be running up the middle, dude. Yo, big ass black dude like that with dreadlocks. You see him coming towards you, like, fucking better duck. Yeah, run for cover. You see Christina Aguilera coming at you, you're like, get the fuck out of here. I'll tackle her, dude, no problem. Dude, everybody made a big stink out of it. Foreskins, they went and got Darnell Cryer. Oh, Dirk Cummins got somebody to throw to. Yeah. Get out of here, dude. Jaden Smith had that dude locked down all fucking day, dude. Not going nowhere, though. But seriously, losing roller derby, that's gonna kill us, man. I mean, we traded Jordache nap shoes, you know, and, you know, now we get, like, nothing for him, dude, because he's gonna get hurt, and then he's gonna be out for the rest of the year. So, I'm kind of, like, devastated about it. I don't know if we have to call up Darnell Beavis, but, dude, we might have to. You never know. Yo, meanwhile, what happened with fucking Al, Sean, and Jeffrey out there, dude? 3 dudes, man. Not one of them can catch a fucking
It's actually 2
ball.
guys, but
Get it, man. I thought we had like some kind of advantage over the fucking MFL, dude, but nah, man. None of these guys can catch, man. Paid all that money, but we fucking brought all of them in. You know, we're like, here, stick you in one uniform. Yeah, make some plays, dude. You can't fucking catch a ball, dude. Look like Rod Stingston out there, man. What the fuck are you doing, man? If it hits you in the hands, dude, you gotta catch it. But yeah, straight up, dude. Dude Staley, what are you thinking right now, man? Meanwhile, Donald Trump Tree can't even put on a uniform right now. And you gotta handle smoked wood. He can't fucking do shit, man. I'm telling you, you gotta see what Gordy Clemens has got, man. he looks like the real deal, man. As far as my eyes can see, man, he looks like another Hershey bar walker all over again. You know, maybe he's gonna come in here just friggin' run through dudes. I don't know, man. That's what I saw in the free season. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what you people see up in the booth. You know what I mean? Like, you know better than I do, right? You get paid to do it, huh? Nah, dude. I got eyes, man. I look like Elfin Jobs right now, dude, because I got laser vision, dude. Fucking Rocket Man! And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Yeah, fuck, you know what I'm talking about, dude. I fucking love that song. Yo, but I like what I saw out of some crafty veterans, dude. Fucking Sack Hurts, dude, out there catching everything thrown on, man. Spoles, man, Spoles is Spoles, you know what I'm saying, man? Yeah, he's like, just friggin' whipping around that field, man. I mean, he got tackled a couple times. I thought he got killed on a few of them, but he was okay in the end there, man. Tortellini sniff, man. Pete Wentz tried to hit him with like a deep ball for like 1,000 yards, but it just didn't happen. But overall, dude, you can't be mad about going down to Washington and friggin' pulling out a big win. Seriously, man, I'm proud of the friggin' Birds, dude. Alright, dude, that just about does it for Jimmy Jablonski. I mean Zelda Topinski week 1 wrap-up of the Eagles game, dude. Overall, dude, I really like what I saw out of the fucking Birds today, man. I'm really excited, dude. I think we're winning this Super Bowl. At least 2 Super Bowls this year, dude.
Two of them.
It's too wide open not to, dude. You got Arsenio Elliott. Yeah, maybe he didn't beat the shit out of a woman. Maybe he did beat the shit out of a woman, but maybe he ain't gonna play. Maybe he will play. I don't know about all that. All I know is, dude, we need to just secure our end of the field, dude. We got this shit locked up, man. So, it's your boy Jimmy Jablonski from Juniata, a.k.a. Jabs. And I'm getting the fuck out of here, dude.
That fucking Kurt. Great job, Kurt. Fucking hilarious, buddy. Oh my god, dude! Like I said,
so the names he comes up.
Dude,
with.
I know the captions: Arsenio Elliott, Tortellini Smith, Sack Hurts.
Yeah.
The fact he keeps calling him Pete Wentz from Fallout Boy when it's Carson Wentz. Like, dude, fucking great job, Curdy. Great job. I gotta get in down. Jabs. Yeah. Well, that was my Eagles wrap up. I don't think I got anything more. Birds win 30-19, I think. Fucking I got to see pieces of the game. But it was fun, dude. I mean, I know you're not much into football, but it's definitely a fun time to be an Eagles fan. You know, a lot of hope riding on the great ginger Jesus that is Carson Wentz. So, but yeah, all right. So we got the Eagles shit done. What else was there? Oh yeah, you want to YouTube this? So I'm excited, and I know this has already been announced. In all honesty, it's already been announced, but they're doing a remake of a 3D remake of an old Super Nintendo game called Secret of Mana, and it's what the preview videos that I saw on Steam. I was like, oh my god, holy shit. Yeah, Secret of Mana remake. And then we'll have to bring up nah, that can't be it. All right, yeah, there you go. PS4 versus original. All right, cool. Yeah, if you want to do that. Or the trailer. Okay, yeah. We'll do the trailer first.
The trailer.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, let's full screen this bitch.
On screen number 1. So
all right, so let's see here.
My brother and I used to play the shit out of this game when we were kids, and
I'll do this without our cam so we can
really take it in.
So we can take it to fuck in, man.
Really soak up the experience.
Soak it in, man.
But this game was something that my brother and I just played like nonstop, and it was cool because like. You know, my brother was big into the RPGs, especially the Square Enix RPGs, which did Final Fantasy and all them types. But they're all one-player games. You know, they're single-player, solo. But this game actually had multiplayer in it. But it was cool because you couldn't do multiplayer until you got the other people. So then once you got a second person, boom, there you go. Grab the second joystick, and you're fucking playing, controlling them. You play that character. if you could play the game by yourself and you just push the select button, you switch between the different characters. And I could even switch too. Like we would set it up where I would be the magic users, you know what I mean, and then he would be the fighter. You know what I mean? So I'm running around doing all the magic shit, healing, throwing fire bombs and all that crap, and then he's swinging the swords and all that. But it was a badass game, dude, and I'm so happy to see this. So, yeah, if you got this,
yeah, okay, so
without you two.
Yeah, see, it looked nothing like that when we were fucking kids. Like, nothing like that. Coming February. Wait, did it jump to the end? What happened here?
I don't think so.
What happened here?
I think.
Oh yeah, it did.
How the hell did that happen?
Might have been from hitting M.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stupid computer.
Dude, and the music's getting remade. Like, I'm hearing this song, I'm like, oh my god, memories. Holy shit. That was a poster. Yeah, they gave you this giant poster with the Tree of Life. That's what that is. Tree of Life.
What's a sword doing here?
Yeah, this is the beginning of the
I don't think I would
game.
have made it here without you two.
Yeah. But that's just like, oh my god, dude. February 15th cannot come any fucking sooner. It's a the calendar has to change. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, dude, I am so excited for this shit. Like, I'm not gonna do well, maybe, yeah, if it's on Steam, I might do the pre-order. It's only $30 too, which is about what they sold fucking. No, actually, this game was $50 when it came out, if I'm not mistaken. But
I never even heard of that game before you mentioned it. So
no shit, really.
yeah,
Did you have a Super Nintendo?
yeah. I was too busy playing Uniracers.
Oh god,
That game was my shit.
dude, that game gave me headaches.
That game was my shit.
Well, it gave me headaches in a sense because it just moves so goddamn fast, dude. It would just fuck with my eyeballs, like.
And my brother just made himself a fucking little emulator. It's got like games from every fucking game system you could ever imagine.
Oh no shit.
And it's got Uniracers on there, so I'm gonna have to go down there because me and my brother used to play that when we were young. So we got to go have like a nostalgia fest and play each other. In some
Fuck yeah, dude.
Uniracers.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I could easily go and just download a torrent and get this game, the original, like the ROM.
Yeah, just run it on an emulator
and all that type of stuff. But it's like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I had a giant ass ROM library, and and I would take my Xbox controller because it was plug and play with the USB, and you just jack it in and you set the keys up to kind of be something similar to what the Super Nintendo had back then. And but I don't know, there was just like it just felt cheap at that. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to. I guess part of it too is like not being able to play it with my bro, because like to have that multiplayer, like especially in that game, it's so key. If you can get a buddy, like you could have, and again I forgot to mention, you could have 3 players. You had to have the multi-tap. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, and if you had the multi-tap, then each one of you and your 2 other buddies can control a character for the rest of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, but what's going to be cool about this with Secret of Mana is because it's on Steam. You can do multiplayer through the Steam system, for the most part. And it's great because then like Matt can be in California and Mike can be in Tampa, and if we get to that point where we have all 3 characters, they can jump into my fucking game. You know what I mean? I could be the one hosting it, and I'm like, dude, I could stream it, fucking stream. Well, if I could drill that hole through the floor so I can run the Cat 5 downstairs, and set up a studio for that. But it is a bit of a pain in the ass because they do rehearsals. But yeah, dude, I can't. Oh, that's it right there, right?
No, that's something. It was a game system that I had when I was a kid. It was all education based. It was called the Socrates.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I had one of those.
I remember the commercials for those.
Yeah, I had one when I was a little.
Thing was practically a fucking computer. For the most part. Wait, would you show him that?
I was looking for a video that my brother had sent me. I guess he didn't send it to me on Facebook. I can't remember where he sent it to me. But yeah, it just showed he got like this little. It looks like they had that the mini Nintendo thing that they recently came out with.
Oh yeah.
It had like a bunch of Nintendo games on it. Well, he got a case that's just like that. Then he built his
like a mini PC into it.
Yeah.
Because I saw him posted on Facebook like, anyone got experience building minis?
Yeah, and
So he probably runs like a MAME on there. It runs MAME.
Yeah,
Probably SNEX 9.
Yeah, it had like fucking all kinds of game systems on it. It had like TurboGrafx 16, all the TurboGrafx systems, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, Sega Dreamcast, like
thousands of dollars when we were kids, dude, and now it's all self-contained into one fucking box.
Yeah, and it's got this like cool menu system where you just pick the system you want, then you go through and you pick the game you want to play, and then boom, just starts playing the game. I still want him. There's still a couple of arcade titles I want him to get on there. I don't know if you ever played it. Do you ever play Soul Calibur?
Oh fuck yeah!
Soul Calibur was my shit.
Dude.
Cervantes. That's the only person I ever played as.
Soul
Cervantes.
Calibur on Dreamcast and on GameCube was awesome. And they had that on the home consoles. They had a mode called Weapon Lord, and you had to fight like 300 of these like special battles, and then you got like everyone's ultimate weapon. You had to go through with every character and beat it the right way to get to the proper last boss or whatever, and then you got their like super Soul Calibur weapon. You know what I mean? Like, which is like one hit and like the fucker's dead. You know, like,
well, see, the reason I want him to get some of these arcade titles is because he actually has an arcade
cabinet
stick that he built. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got the joystick. It's got the arcade buttons, and he's even got like a trackball in the middle of it.
Oh, nice.
For some games, but like, yeah. So like, if he gets Soul Calibur on there, we can just fucking plug that thing in and just fucking do it old school arcade style.
I mean, it is actually better playing those games that way instead of keyboard or even joystick. Like you got
I always sucked at Mortal Kombat on a controller, but if I played you on a fucking actual arcade cabinet, I won't say I was like the man at it, but I was pretty damn good.
Well, you had a winning record.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the guy? Did you ever go to the arcade at the mall when it was still there?
When I was a kid, like a young kid.
Well, there was this guy who always came in there named Chief. He was called Chief because if you played him, you were going to lose. It didn't matter what game it was.
No shit.
Like, he was like the arcade master. And I almost beat him once in Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3, but I had to cheese the fuck out of him. I had to do I had to use smoke for one to do it, but I would do his combo, do the thing where he drops off the screen, comes up on the other side,
the teleport uppercut,
then do the fucking the thing the scorpion spear kind of thing that comes out of his chest, pull him back, do the combo, drop off, come back up, I had to do that over and over again. Still somehow you fucking got out of it and fucking beat me. And I was like, he was like, you almost had me. I couldn't have that.
Almost.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I saw this dude. He'd go in, he'd put 50 cents in the machine, beat the game, and then because he knew Mortal Kombat so well, you know the end select screen where there's the little boxes. He knows which one, what each one of those does, and he would just go over to the one that allows you to play again, and he would fucking play it over and over and over again, and he never had to worry. Like, there would be like a line of people sometimes waiting to try and beat him, and like none of them ever could.
King of the Cades.
Which is why which is why I'm kind of like, it was kind of like a pride thing. It's like, I almost beat Chief. Because it's like, the dude is just so fucking good. It's like, they even almost beat him is like winning. It's like, I beat him, but I didn't beat him. But I almost did, and it's close enough.
It is interesting because like I was running with a dude that dealt with a lot of those coin-op arcade games and stuff like that. Like there has been a slight like a slight resurgence recently with cabinet style games and so forth and coin ops. Well, in fact, down at Dawson, they just put 3 fucking machines in. I was like, when the fuck did this happen? They got one joint that actually is a multi game that does everything from like the Pac-Man, Galaga, Rolling Thunder, if you remember that Shinobi ripoff game.
I think so.
You know, and then there's like a couple side scrollers, side shooters on there. And what else? Private arcade. Oh wow, I can only imagine. But the one thing that it's kind of stinks about it is one, they're 50 cents. I'm like, you fucking assholes! Like, just make them a quarter. You know what I mean? Like, why do you gotta be 50 fucking cents? But the other thing was the place that they got them in. There's a place in Philly, and I think they're across the country. It's called Barcade, and
I've heard of Barcade.
It's cool. I haven't been to one. I haven't been to one, in all honesty, but I just I don't know. Yeah, see, yeah. I guess because we're all older now, I guess drinking is involved. It wasn't really so much when we were
trying to see if this is the guy who has.
But yeah, they put they put an X-Men pinball game in, and then they put like a digital shuffleboard game in, which was.
There's a dude somewhere here in Pennsylvania. He's got like a whole fucking building that's his own private arcade.
Oh, that's.
And he lets you. He'll like everyone's.
Is that the King of Kong, dude?
I don't know, but
the King of I that might be him. I don't know. It's actually over in Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. It's but yeah, this guy has like this giant warehouse where it's just nothing but arcades.
Yeah,
arcade
like,
machines.
And like once a year, he'll like actually like let just anybody come and play the games for free. He just like leaves a bucket of quarters at each game, and just basically like lets you play for free. Or the games that he can throw on free mode, he'll throw on free mode.
Well, a lot of them can, yeah. Or if not, you just pop the door open or you just hit the credit switch.
Yeah.
You just credit up.
Speaking of free, I was really cool with the people at the arcade at the King of Prussia Mall, and they would just like fucking like, all right, go ahead, play, whatever. Or you know what? Fuck it, I'll throw it on free mode for a little bit.
Yeah,
just let you play.
See, I wasn't old enough for that time because the only time that I was going, it was when it was Spaceport, not Time Out.
Oh yeah,
and I was
talking about it when it was Time Out.
Right. Yeah, I was at it when it was Spaceport, and I was a little kid then. You know what I mean? Like I didn't start running with you guys until well after the fact.
Yeah, they had to change it from Spaceport because fucking it was too dark in there, and people were like busting open machines and shit.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Like that's why they changed.
See, this is why we can't have anything nice. This is why we can't have nice things, Vern.
Because it was dark in there, so people would like bust open the machines and steal fucking the money out of it.
I remember when you could still smoke in there.
Yeah, I started hanging out at the mall when you could still smoke in the mall. It was weird when they stopped smoking in the mall because I'd like light a cigarette and they'd be like, security would be like, oh, get out. What? Oh, fuck. Oh, come on, dude. Give me a break. It's only been a week. Nope, get out of the mall. You're kicked out. Fucking asshole. Like, dick. Know I've been smoking in this mall for the last 2 years.
Right.
You can't give me a little fucking leeway.
Yeah, that was I do remember that, and they had the fucking ashtrays on the fucking cabinets. Yeah. The little flip ashtrays, like you had to flip them over to clean them and shit. Or then there would be the dudes that would just be like smoking it and then put it down on the fucking cabinet, like up against the button, and leave the burn marks in there and shit like that, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't like that too much,
dude. Fucking nostalgia, dude.
Yeah, fucking. Back when the mall still had shit brown tiles everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. And the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Or United, the cut up snake one, or whatever the fuck it was. They used to have them hanging outside the KB toy store, or the one toy store.
KB Toys?
Was it KB? The one next to the fantasy shop. That was in the hall. You remember when you had to go in that little hallway, and then they had that fantasy statuette store with all the crystal and stone figures and statues and all that crap?
You're talking about back when Kitty City was still there?
Kitty City, that's what it was.
Yeah, Kitty City.
Kitty City. Kitty Shitty. Shitty Kitty. Yeah, actually, there was, what was it? Somewhat.
When there was still an outside part of the mall.
Yeah. Ground Round, Acme. The Steinway piano store. That was all. Remember the Steinway? That was cool. Well, let me ask you this. What's the one big retailer that's closed over there now at the mall? Was it JCPenney shut their doors?
No, Sears did.
Sears? Oh, it was Sears.
Yeah, Sears is...
Wow,
Sears is like going out of business, basically.
Wow. I also heard JCPenney, too. I also heard, like the...
I don't think Penny's closed.
Let me Google this. JC...
I don't remember hearing about them closing.
Penny.
I don't go up to the mall that often anymore, so...
Dude, I haven't been there in fucking years. Years, I tell you.
It's too different. It's weird. It's weird going there now. Because, like the one constant of all my years of hanging out at the mall was the food court. The food court was still the old food court, and then they changed that. So that's kind of weird.
Oh, this is them talking about Prime. Yeah. Oh, yeah. JC is delaying the closing of these 138 stores. So, yeah, JCPenney's next on the chopping block. This was back in April. Yeah, JCPenney stores at KOP and the Franklin Mills, the old Franklin Mills. Well, it's just that company Primark came in. Like, apparently it's like the new hot shit fucking, what do you call it? New hot shit clothing store or something like that. But, like, you know, it's just like every other one that just got all their shit from Bangladesh paying some kid 2 cents a day to sew fucking Nikes and fucking T-shirts. You know what I mean? Like, to me, they seem like the same as Steve and Barry. If you remember that clothing store that went into the old Comp USA near,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It was there, and then now it's gone. You know what I mean? I don't even think it's there anymore. You know what I mean?
No,
like
that place didn't last very long.
Well, because it's like you go in there, like, oh, you get these cool shirts, man, like $6, but they're like corny ass, like oh, funny bumper sticker shirts. You know what I mean? Like I still have one of them. It's kind of funny. It shows a silhouette of a chick on a stripper pole, and it says, "I support the performing arts." But it's more. It's more shit like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like
that's funny.
But I mean, you can only go so far with you know, frat boy shirts. You know what I mean? Like, because it's basically what that shit is. I think I still have that. I might have got rid of it when I moved because I'm like, yeah, this is a little immature. Yeah, this is kind of immature.
Speaking of T-shirts,
oh yeah,
we're thinking about doing doing a T-shirt to raise some funds towards doing more improvements to our show. So I guess should we do the shirt, or should we seek whether people are interested in getting a T-shirt?
I think we should just get a buzz first. And just so we can get like a rough estimate. So let's say, for example, we got 10 people that are interested, right?
Yeah.
That'll give us that'll come to us and say, "Shut up and take my money tomorrow."
Yeah.
Then if that's the case, I say we do 25, because if we already got 10 on the hook, then we can, you know, hey guys, help us go get 15 more people on the hook. You know what I mean? Like, because the reason why Vern is explaining it this way is because the service that we're looking at is Teespring.
Yes.
And Teespring only does campaign style runs. We went with them, and we want to go with them. From what Vern researched and what he was telling me we don't want to get you those Glidden or Gildan work shirts. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that's got the same fabric and quality as the guys, you know, digging the road up outside.
Yeah.
We wanted something that's soft and actually has some quality to it.
Yeah.
So the price that they had offered for what we want to do, like, we can't beat it. Like, it's fucking awesome.
We can make T-shirts, and you could buy them for $20. The other places I was looking at to get T-shirts made
of this quality too, it would have been like $25, $28, $30. We
would have had to charge like $25 to $30 to even make anything, because like cafepress.com, it's $19.95 before we even add a profit margin. So we could go to Teespring and have T-shirts at $20 and still make money
to help us
And,
out.
I
Yeah.
mean, $20 for a T-shirt, that's not a bad price.
Right. Yeah. And
I
again,
mean-
it's going to be of the better fabric. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the because I like them more softer style shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's and that
So-
seems to be the shit now. And so but the way that they do it is that, so say we do 25 and our 10 overly
Well,
eager.
we can set the thing at 10, and if it goes over that, that's fine.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
all right, we'll just say it's set at 10. So what we do is we have to move these 10 before they do the run, before they actually print them and send them out to you guys. So what would happen is if say like let's say we give ourselves 2 weeks to do this. Okay. So we give ourselves 2 weeks to sell 10 shirts. If we only do 9 in that 10 weeks, or excuse me, 9 in that 2 weeks, your money isn't charged. Your cards aren't charged. If there was a charge, it's all reimbursed, and they just don't print it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all that happens. That's all.
I mean,
that happens.
we could set it down to 1. We could, but I think the more we sell, the lower they can sell. Charge us for them.
Oh yeah,
because,
it's bulk.
Yeah, they make
Wholesale.
more of them at a time. It costs them less money than if they make one now, one next week, and one the week. 1-2 days later. But yeah. Here I can even mock up what the shirt would look like, real quick here. That's what's gotta love these website things. But yeah, so I mean, we can do other stuff besides T-shirts, but I figured a T-shirt would probably be pretty cool. Just be a simple.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, wear that shit with pride.
Yeah, it would basically be like this. Maybe we could add some color text to it.
Tuesdays at 8.
Yeah, so. I mean, if people are interested in a Slacker Americana shirt.
Yeah, we're gonna
And,
try and put it together. Try and, like I said, I mean, we definitely want to do this stuff, but we want to gauge the level of excitement if there is any.
yeah. And, I mean,
Hey, you think
you'd be helping us out, and you'd get a T-shirt. I could make it like I supported Slacker Americana, and all I got was this fucking T-shirt or
Right.
something.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't have it say fucking because of their rules, but I could definitely have F @ symbol
exclamation
pound
point,
sign,
yeah.
$sign ING. But
Hey, do you
Yeah,
guys think with
you
the
guys let us
money?
know.
You guys think with the money that you raise from this, you could buy some talent?
Hey, look,
In before someone says that.
yeah, beating you to the punch.
Yeah, in before someone says that. So I think we hit it all today, man. Create the 9/11 stuff, anniversary, Florida update,
Let's see what.
did the game. My bus is coming shortly. Not
Yeah,
shortly.
we still got.
Still got one.
Yeah, so, how soon are you trying to get out of here?
Why? What's up?
I don't know.
Why? You got something?
I'm just wondering how much longer we're going. Just
Well,
just whether I
it
should-
hits the mall at 10:38, and it's 10.
Yeah.
It's 10:10.
So PJ's got to go.
Yeah, I got a long day at work tomorrow. But hey,
Hey,
awesome job on the camera, bro.
yeah.
Awesome job. And I'm
It's
kind of
nice
hoping.
it's nice having a nice clear picture instead of, grainy, quote unquote 720.
640.
Yeah. 'Cause that shit was-
Now, if we could only get, it was terrible. Now, if we could only get people to dial in on the fucking Google Hangout.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Well,
people.
go check it. Maybe we missed a call. Like I've had
I
this,
doubt it.
I've had this up, as you can hear. I've had it up. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope. Nobody.
No video call.
Nobody. You know what? Let's just wait. Is there anyone we could randomly call?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay. What we ought to do is we need to sit there and find out if there's anyone on live or on, let's say like Eric, Eric from Thunderbird Divine, and then if it says he's active and on, we're just gonna fucking call him. Like they're not gonna call us. We're gonna fucking call you.
We're calling you.
We're calling you. Yeah. So, oh yeah, real fast. I could go over this. 2018. Regarding the show, we're gonna be calling it quits. No, I'm just kidding.
He's gonna be calling.
No, in 2018, we're gonna look into live streaming with a full band mix. One of the house shows that we're doing.
We're gonna look at bringing some musical entertainment to the show.
I was talking with Nolan from Eric's band Ketosis, who we played on the show here before, and they actually just did a show at Dockside, Dave and Buster's Dockside in Philly this weekend, and it was a blast for them. They said they had fun. So just talking with him, and he's got a version of that Zoom board that we were all geeking about that we don't have $700 fucking dollars for, but he has like the prior version of that, and just some of the logistics that we were working out just in our head, the schematics of signal path and signal flow, like we're going to be able to do a full on mix, like, like a mic on the kick drum, mic on the snare, kind of in between the snare. They call it the dick mic in a way, because you point it at the drummer's dick, but you have it with a wide enough field so it picks up the toms and the snare and a lot of other stuff, right? Like there's a way to set up the mic up the drums in such a way where it doesn't burn up inputs, but it doesn't get caught being too room sounding.
Yeah.
Throw mics on the guitar cabs, either probably DI the bass, or even just mic the cab itself.
Well, if we needed to, if we needed to mic the drums, we could just bring that board and run that. Have all the drums.
No, here's the trick. Here's what the trick's going to be, because his board is going to go into his laptop, and it's going to multi-track record into his program. Yeah. What we're then going to do, because regardless of what happens on the multi-track, it doesn't matter. You can always just, this was too quiet on the multi-track, but maybe it sounds great to the audience.
Yeah,
you can always fix that in post. Yeah. So what his board's going to do is live mix the band, right, and then send it to this one. And this one is then going to go to YouTube. So he's going to have one of them. He's going to, because it's a USB board, his Zoom. So that his USB goes to his computer, records, and then through like the tape out, like the stereo outs.
Yeah.
He just bangs us. He'll bang us, the house signal. And we're going to set it up where the vocals are going to come upstairs. It's also perfect too, because we're going to have it in the living room. Is going to be, you know how we sectioned it off?
Yeah.
That's going to be the sound booth.
Yeah.
For the live stream and the recording. And then all we have to do is the vocals are going to come up direct from the basement into the board, out to the people. You out there. Like Riley. Hi, Riley. And then we're going to pipe it back downstairs into the house PA, because there's no reason to mic up anything if in that basement. You heard it. The Chuggernaut videos, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't. So then that way, anytime we adjust the faders upstairs, it won't affect what's going on downstairs, because then they're going to have a separate power amp and a separate feed and like head for the vocals, so they can crank them up as loud as they need them or turn them down, whatever, downstairs without affecting us.
Yeah,
dude, it seems a bit redundant, and I'm putting more words into it than what it actually fucking would be, but it sounds so fucking cool, dude. Like, and I think it's going to be easier to do it with a future house show versus the first one that we did, because we did that purposely as a banger with 11 bands. You know what I mean? The future shows are only 5. 3 to 5 at max. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's so that's going to be one thing that we're going to look to try and do. I also want to do real fast on this at my house too, because it's set up for it. I want to do a live studio audience show. I'd like to try and have a show where we have a studio audience in front of us. You know what I mean? Like grab all of our friends or whatever, you know, we'd have to go over it with them and not to sound like you told Nazis 9. But you know, the whole point of like, hey, when you go watch a TV show, like, be cool, like, you know, like we'll bring people up onto the mic if they want to come up, or you know, or set up where like, okay, you don't want your face shown, but you can go. Here's a mic in the back that you can talk out of. You know what I mean? Like, and then just bring people on for. I'd love to maybe at that point maybe have a political figure, because it's going to be election year. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you bring Dalen Leach in, or maybe I bring in like the Philly council member that handles my neighborhood or some shit, or what, you know what I mean? Whatever, like stuff like that. Sounds pretty badass. Oh yeah, of course we're gonna do it. I just said it. I just said it on YouTube. I'm gonna have to do it now.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
It's
now.
on the internet now. It must
be there forever.
It must be real.
Hey, 6 months ago you said you were gonna do this. You haven't done it.
Oh yeah, I bought a T-shirt. And I was hoping you guys would do a house show and stream it, but you haven't done that yet. Oh, that's pretty funny. So, all right, we gotta hit it. I gotta go run to the bus. All right. So, alrighty, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Great job as always. Great job as always.
All right.
Give me now. Play my music.
Our music.
Our music. Sorry, I'll try to do that.
Make sure it's at the beginning here.
Oh yeah. That's the and it's working this time.
Hey, it works this time. Whee!
For whatever fuck reason it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. He's going to bring up the page here real fast with all the fun stuff. Facebook.com/Slacker Americana. Twitter is Slacker American. Leave off the last A for asshole. It's just Slacker American. I don't even fuck with Instagram.
Fuck Instagram.
I haven't put a fucking thing over there. It's just, I literally just have it for the SEO at this point. Like, we are at 52 subscribers, maybe.
Yeah, so
I think.
Do us the favor and give
unless
us
we just lost one during this show, which is quite possible. No, we're at 52. All right, 48 to go.
Yeah,
48.
Share us on Facebook. Make sure if you're watching and you haven't yet, click subscribe and click that bell so that you know when we go live.
Yeah, 48 more subs. And we get 100 total subscribers on this channel. We're allowed to then make our own custom URL. So then that way it can say youtube.com/Slacker Americana and not, what does it say right now? Here, ready to go. UCN31RPG8PVYOAKB58. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't put that on a t-shirt. It's going to be a little tricky. So, alrighty, folks, we're out of here next week, same time, 8 o'clock.
Yep.
8 o'clock. Seems like a good time, right?
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Slacker time, Slacker channel. So, alright, guys, we're going to get out of here. Once again, Vern, thank you, brother.
Thank you. All right.
Alright, guys, later.
See you later.